is Linda Carabaras, and welcome to my kitchen. Now today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple white clam sauce. And what's terrific about this clam sauce is that it's low in cholesterol. And unlike the types of white clam sauces you may be used to getting them out that are laden with heavy cream and butter, this is a nice simple clam sauce that I'm going to pair with a homemade Caesar salad. And again, I'm going to put a healthy twist on a Caesar salad. And for those of you out there that don't like the idea of using the raw egg in the Caesar salad or using anchovies, I'm going to show you a beautiful substitution for the binder in the Caesar salad. We're going to use sour cream instead of the raw egg. And we're also going to use chopped olives in place of the anchovies, which is really nice because it gives it that nice saltiness without the anchovies. And this recipe, I just want to tell you, when I was doing my training at Johnson & Wales, if you guys out there remember the classic restaurant, I believe it was in Providence, this came from the son of the owners of the classic restaurant. So this is the Classics family Caesar salad that they used to do tableside at the restaurant. I guess the restaurant closed a number of years ago, so I thought that was really neat that he brought the recipe in to share with the class, and now I'm going to share it with you. So let me get prepared. I'll show you how to start putting the Caesar salad together. And the first thing I want to talk about, the romaine lettuce that's needed for the Caesar. Okay, now certainly you can go out there and you can already get the bagged, chopped romaine lettuce that's already washed, and that's fine. But I prefer getting the romaine hearts for a couple of different reasons. One reason is that it's half the price of the bagged, already chopped. The other thing is you get 3 nice romaine hearts in the bag, and these keep a while. I can keep these in the refrigerator sealed a good week. And then that way I can use one for Caesar salad, then I take another one out later in the week, chop that up, mix it with some other bagged lettuces, like perhaps the baby greens that you can get, and the romaine gives it a nice crunch, and then mixed with the softer lettuces, it really gives a nice contrast. So that's why I prefer the romaine hearts. And I will show you how to prepare the romaine hearts to place in the Caesar salad. And again, as with everything else, what do I always emphasize? Mise en place. So you can actually put this together the night before, and I'm going to show you now how to prepare the romaine lettuce if you're buying the hearts, or you can, of course, buy the full head of romaine, but then you usually have to take out a few of the outer leaves, and again, that's another reason I like the romaine hearts. It's on the inside. You can use all of the romaine heart if you purchase this. So why don't you follow me over to the sink, and I'll show you how to prepare the romaine hearts. All right, now the first thing that I do is I chop off the bottom of the romaine heart, and maybe, I don't know, a couple of inches, because I like very little waste, you know. But you need to get rid of this, okay? So put that aside. Then I have a spray, cold water you want to use. I have a spray on my faucet, and I just kind of take it like this and rinse it. And through the bottom. Okay, let me dump that out. Then I'm going to turn it up, and I'm going to plunge this in cold water. I'm going to swish it around a little bit in case there's any sand. And most of the time, these hearts are very clean. So, as you can see, there's really not any dirt in the water. But again, it gets off some of the other foreign objects. So let's dump that out. Then what I do, I just leave it in the bowl like this. And leave it for 5 or 10 minutes. All right, I've let the romaine drain in the bowl for about 5 minutes, and this is the amount of water that you'll end up with after about 5 minutes. And let me just dump this in the sink. Okay, and again, I know some people use the salad spinners, but myself, I'm a minimalist in the kitchen, and again, it's one other piece of equipment that you have to bring it out. It probably has a couple different parts to it, and I say, why? This method is so easy. Why not just do it this way? Save yourself the time and money of using a salad spinner for the very few times that you're really going to use it. So, all right. Now I'm going to show you how to cut this romaine into bite-sized pieces, kind of hold it together. Let me put my bowl aside, okay? And hold it like this. And again, this is supposed to be a jumbo romaine heart. Well, usually I'm going to say I usually get them that are that big. So I'm going to say this will do 2 good-sized Caesar salads or maybe 4 small ones, but we'll see how this works out anyway after I cut it. So hold it together like this, okay? And then what you do is take your knife like this, and again, curl your fingers under. Make sure you don't get your fingers in there, and I'm going to start from the bottom first. And here we go. I cut one down like this. I turn it. Make another cut like this. And by the way, I learned this when I worked for a caterer. This just kind of puts it in a few more little bite-sized pieces. Another cut like this. Then turn it, okay, and do the top. Same thing here. 1, 2. You don't have to get too fancy. If some of it falls apart, don't worry about it, okay? Now what I do is put this aside. Let me put this over here. Get a nice clean kitchen towel. Okay, let's unwrap it like this. And then probably just divide it like that. I'll make it a little easier to work with. Then just go down about every inch, half inch, however small you like your pieces, okay? Again, fingers curled under. And this is going to take out the rest of the water. So right there, I put it right in the center of my kitchen towel. And by the way, I picked this method up too when I used to go years ago to the Blue Grotto restaurant, if you remember that on Federal Hill. It's still there, but I guess it's under new ownership now. And they used to do an unbelievable table-side Caesar. But of course, that was the traditional with the raw egg and the anchovies, which is what I like also. So, but, and they did this method. They put I remember they'd always come out with the bowl that they were going to prepare the Caesar in, and they would have the lettuce already wrapped in a nice kitchen towel, and then they would put the dressing together in the bowl, like I'm going to do today, and just open up the towel and let the romaine fall out. And this method, too, this is going to take out the excess water, as I stated, but you can also do this the night before. So again, if you know you're going to make Caesar, you got a few minutes to cut up some lettuce, just do that, put it in the towel, place it in the bowl like I'm going to show you, set it overnight, all set to go for the next night. Okay, so here we go again, about every inch. Okay, that's pretty much it. I mean, you probably still need to cut it in the bowl a little, but it's going to give you some nice pieces that are easy to work with. Now look at this, just fold up the corners of the towel. Bring my bowl over here that I used to drain it, tip it upside down like this, and I'm going to place this in the refrigerator and let me mise en place for my white clam sauce, and this will continue to drain, and this will be perfectly drained by the time I'm ready to finish the Caesar salad. All right, mise en place, everything in its place. So you're ready to go and everything's all lined up. And let me go over the ingredients briefly. I have got 1 medium onion chopped. I've got 4 cloves of garlic, and if you're like me, oh, I love my garlic, so this is going to be nice and garlicky. 1 cup of white wine, a dry white wine or sherry, and I'm using sherry because I like things a little sweeter, so use any kind of white wine that you want, okay? I've got 2 cans of clams that I have already washed the tops of the cans, so I just kind of left the cover in there so I can just drain it into the dish. I'll show you that in a minute. Couple of teaspoons of dried parsley we're going to use. 1 to 2 teaspoons, whatever your preference is, and we're going to finish the dish with some ground fresh black pepper and some fresh parsley. Okay, so, and here's my olive oil here, so why don't we just start this dish now. I'm going to turn on the flame to my burner, and I'm going to make it like, I like to start things off low. So there we go, low. And I'm going to say, and again, you can control this dish, I'm going to use about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And again, I would use, well, actually you can use any kind of olive oil you want, but I usually use an all-purpose for sautéing. You don't really need to use the extra virgin olive oil. But you can if you want to, and just keep the flame on low. So that's the other thing I like about this dish too. You're using a nice, healthy, monounsaturated olive oil, and we're going to start sautéing the onions. Okay, so you can control the amount of olive oil you want in this also. So let me put in my onions. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to a nice sauté. Get my wooden spoon here. And let's sauté this. Turn up the flame a little bit. There we go. Okay. And we're going to just soften the onions. You don't want to brown them, so again, keep it on low, low to medium. Just nice sauté for 8 to 10 minutes. All right. There we go. And now let me put a cover on this. That will help soften them, and just check them every 2 to 3 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like. They'll be nice and softened, and we're going to complete the rest of the dish. My onions have softened very nicely at this point, and that's only been less than 5 minutes. And you know, you're going to be cooking this in liquid a lot more, so that's fine. That's about the way they should look. So at this point, let me add my garlic. Again, keep it on low, 4 cloves of garlic. Okay, mix that around, and you only need about 1 minute on the garlic, and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients and reduce this. All right. Now we're ready to add the next few ingredients. Can you smell that? Garlic and onions. Ah, don't you love it? So now I'm going to add my 1 cup of dry sherry. Now I said white wine earlier. Again, you can use the white wine. That's this color because I'm using dry sherry, which will make your dish a little bit sweeter. So experiment with this. You know, you want to start out with the sherry, try the white wine the next time you make it. So here we go. I'm pouring in my 1 cup of sherry. Ah, nice. All right. Now, next, you just want to add the clam juice. So again, I've washed the tops of the cans here, and I just find it easy. You just press down the lid. Put my clams aside over here because we're going to add those last. You know, you always want to add those last, because if you add them too soon and keep simmering, they're going to get rubbery. So here we go. Here's the other can, clam juice. Now the dried basil, 1 to 2 teaspoons, whatever you want. I'm going to put in about a teaspoon. Okay. And some nice, fresh, ground black pepper. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to a simmer, and I'll show you what that looks like, and then we're going to reduce it and finish this with the clams and parsley and serve it over our pasta. I've got my whole grain pasta cooking on the stove. I've got some nice linguine. I'm going to serve the clam sauce over the linguine. All right, this sauce is now at a nice simmer. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this and put it on my stovetop, and we're going to reduce this by 2/3, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a few minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to mise en place for our Caesar salad. All right, as you can see, I've mise en place for our Caesar salad. And by the way, all of these recipes will be on my website, www info@lindas-kitchen.com. And of course, you're always welcome to email me with any comments or questions, and I'll be happy to help you. So let's get started on our Caesar salad. We want to first put 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a wooden bowl. And again, this is another thing you can just kind of measure at this point as far as the amount of fat that you want in this dish. So, whatever, you can control the amount of oil. Then I'm going to add the chopped green olives, and that's going to be the saltiness that you would normally use, that you're going to use in place of the anchovies. Then the garlic, okay, in with the olive oil. So we've got the garlic and the chopped olives, and I'm going to mash those together into the olive oil in the bowl. So let's just mash these a little bit. And you don't have to make a real fine paste. Don't worry about that. You're just kind of getting the flavor from the garlic into the olive oil and the saltiness. So, saltiness and that garlic flavor into that olive oil. So you really don't have to worry about making a paste. Just as I'm crushing this down, this will flavor that oil enough. All right, that's all you do. Now, next few ingredients, 2 to 3 dashes of hot sauce or whatever you like. You want more, add more. I like a lot of heat in my Caesar, so as you can see, I've added more than that. 2 to 3 dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of sour cream. And about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And again, these are just all basic, equivalent. You're going to find that once you make that, you're going to, put your own measurements and, what you like. Oh, I'm sorry. And tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Don't want to forget the Dijon. Okay, there we go. Now we've got the Dijon in there. And see the way that looks nice and thick? And again, I should say again, you're going to make your own adjustments after this. Okay. There you go. That's it. Now I'm going to add our chopped romaine from the refrigerator. So there we go. We just open this up. Drop it in the bowl. Let me put this aside. Then what I like to do, I love having these vinyl gloves in the kitchen. I just keep them underneath the counter, and it's terrific for stuff like this. So now we're just going to coat the romaine lettuce really well. And again, I'm figuring on 2 larger portions of Caesar. We'll see how this all comes out, but you want it coated really well. And see, that's nice and thick. Oh, it coats those leaves really nicely. And again, as I stated, that was a smaller heart of romaine. So I actually cut this dressing recipe in half. Okay, now let's plate it. And we're going to garnish. Oh, that smells good. Okay. And again, as you can see, these are going to be pretty good size Caesar salads from that small romaine heart. Or you could squeeze out 4 small salads. Okay, and that takes care of it, and that actually coated that perfectly. When you taste this homemade Caesar salad, you're going to love this. So much better than what you can get out most of the time. But there are, again, some great places where you can still get the homemade Caesar salad, but, very few anymore. All right, now we're going to garnish some ground black pepper. And of course, it wouldn't be Caesar salad now, would it, without fresh Parmesan cheese. And I've got the Parmigiano Reggiano. You can get that at most supermarkets now or at any Italian market. And I put it in my grater. And here we go. I love a lot of Parmesan. So let's go over the top with this. And also, you can mix some grated Parmesan into the dressing initially, coat the leaves, and then put more on. So it just depends how much Parmesan you want. And the Parmesan, that'll keep, oh, my goodness, at least a month or two in your refrigerator. I just seal it in a Ziploc plastic bag. All right, and now croutons. There you go. Done. Homemade Caesar salad. Enjoy, and let me put together the clam sauce over the linguine, and we'll serve this together. All right, this is reduced by 2/3. In other words, we have 1/3 left of what we started out with. And now we are ready to add our clams. And here we go. There's one can. Let me add the other. And now all you want to do is just heat this, just so the chopped clams are heated thoroughly, and maybe a minute or two. Turn that up a little bit. Oh, look at how nice and thick that is. Isn't that beautiful? You don't have any of the cholesterol from the heavy cream in there. We're not using butter. So this is a nice dish for anybody watching their cholesterol. And it's just so rich in flavor because of the broth from the canned clams. And very, very easy. You can put this dish together in a half hour. So that'll do it. I'm going to shut off the heat. All right, now we are ready to plate this wonderful clam sauce over a nice whole grain linguine. And central to this dish is you've got to garnish with nice fresh parsley. Now, a bunch of parsley like this costs 99 cents in the supermarket. That's it. And what I do is you can keep it loosely covered in a plastic bag, okay? Just leave the plastic bag open a little. And when I need garnish or to use fresh parsley, and you can use up the rest of this in salads or whatever, I just pull out a few of the sprigs. I'm going over here to my sink, and you want to use nice cold water. And again, I have a spray on my sink, but it really doesn't matter. Just rinse it quickly like this. I shake it out. I take a couple of paper towels. And again, you can do this well ahead of time. Wrap it in the paper towels like this. Put it in your refrigerator, and it will be ready when you need to use it. All right? And all you do is just pull some of the leaves off. That's it. You don't really want to get any of the stems. And I'll tell you, if you saw my soups episode, fresh parsley just makes such a difference, and it will complement this clam sauce like you wouldn't imagine. And again, it's cheap. And again, you just go like this. And you know what? You can even chop this ahead of time, put it in the refrigerator. It will last several days already chopped, and I have some here for our garnish. So let me put this aside, and we'll plate. All right. So I just want to talk a little bit about the pasta that I used today. Again, the whole grain pasta. I love using it. It's got 3 times the amount of fiber as regular pasta. Another option for you would be the spinach fettuccine. I love to use this also, and it gives you more iron. So couple of different pasta options for you. Serve this over noodles, the egg noodles, delicious. So, now these boxes of pasta, and have you noticed this? Why all of a sudden are they 12 and 13 ounce boxes? I remember back in the day, they were 1 pound boxes, so go figure. But anyway, the whole wheat pasta, I just want to show you the amount. I use 3/4 of a box of that 13 ounce box of pasta, and it makes 6 cups. So that's a good amount. And for the amount of sauce that I think this recipe makes, I think that would be perfect. So, but again, you make your own adjustments. If you want a lot more sauce per pasta ratio, then use half a box of this and the whole recipe for the sauce. But anyway, the way this recipe is made, I'm figuring about 2 cups of pasta per serving. So let's do this. All right, it's about 2 cups. Then I'll place, I don't know, good half to 3/4 of a cup on there. Oh boy, huh? All right. Or you can serve this family style. You can put the pasta on a big platter and then pour the sauce right over and serve it with tongs. So now I'm going to garnish with that fresh parsley. Oh, this is going to be delicious. And there you go. There's your beautiful homemade Caesar salad paired with nice clam sauce over whole wheat linguine. Enjoy. I know I will. Well, thank you for spending your time with me this week, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Linda's Kitchen. And let me grab a fork.